for it and say, here, see if this helps you at first, but I want you to see it this way, but then I want you to go back to the plain view so that your brain sees that when I'm looking at it, right? Because even with this, right, they're not, if they weren't marked, if I do this or I do that, it doesn't change anything. But for some students, they need, what your example is showing them isn't aligning to the fact that it's nondescript. The other side of that is if you buy the boxes and you have a couple of extra boxes that are unmarked, you could do just what I did and say, look, this is the same as this. And what you just have to remember is, in your isometric eye, when I'm looking at this point, to this side is the front, to this side is the right, and this is always the top. And then they start to connect.
One thing I did that didn't come with that, and I really hate the buy-in that is cut out their own boxes, and they have one box that's unlabeled, and one box that is labeled that's locked, has their name on it. So they can give a partner, now they have 4 cubes or 6 cubes and stuff, and they are very protective of their box. That's another thing that's going to get the buy-in, possession, the kids. It's like, now they're doing the same activities, but it's their cute.
A couple of things that I've found success with. One, just kind of your time copying in the boxes, even though they're rectangles. My kids love, I got 10 or 12 copy machine boxes because they're all standardized, and I just threw them on a table and started playing around with them. And the kids were like, oh, can we draw that? Can we practice that? But you already had that university. And the other thing was kind of like what Brian was saying. If you take a piece of grid paper, just regular, I had tons of photocopy grid paper, and instead of the cross, it's 6 boxes, and I would keep telling the kids, look, I need 10 by 10, 6, 10 by 10. And the kids would still like, well, what do you mean? What, and I was like, it's got to be 10 by 10. But 10 by 10, 10 by 10, 10 by 10, 10 by 10, 10 by 10 on either side, and then they would cut it out. And so they're learning a little bit about square footage. And then I'm kind of ramping them up to X, Y, and Z axis. And they're having to label. I'm like, you got to label which side is the top. I don't know, you tell me which side is the top. But once you set it into a computer program, you got to kind of set. But technically, I think it's like, you have to set where your origins are, but they're learning the 6 different shapes. And like he's saying, combine to the partner. But having them to hold on to that so they know that.
And I like the use of grid paper, and then they start connecting that to surface area. Right? You don't have to go there, but it's kind of like some of their brains, again, that differentiated model, right? Some of the kids in 6th grade who mathematically are there are going to be like, oh, wait a second, this is like, a 10 by 10 is, 100, this, or, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, this is like surface. I'm telling you the area of the surface. Which they do in middle school also.
And that 10 by 10, the reason I'm going to pick that side is because it fits on a weapon. 8 by 11. So
these are 4 by 4s, and it had to fit on the paper. Right.
I think my mission is to go online with cut. And I didn't think about a car stop. One color and one not.
So for us, it was quick and easy, right? You go, and the boxes are dirt cheap. I mean, Eric might be a little stingy with his money every now and then, but I think you can get the 4x4 boxes. They sell them. I want to say they come. It might be like 4 dozen per bundle, and a bundle used to be like $15. So it's almost like, you know, if you don't have time for kids to print, cut, tape, glue, whatever, right, and build their own little boxes on a cardstock, at least for your classroom, a big set like this, that, you know, and they sell bigger boxes. I did 4x4 just because it was the smallest, cheapest, and easiest, but they have them up to 6x6. I think they even have like an 18x18 cube, you know, if you want this giant model, knock yourself out, but, and then the little wooden cubes were on Amazon, and I think it was a 500 count bag or 300 count bag was like, I think $30, and which is enough for your classroom. Yeah, they're 1-inch cubes. But you know your kids better than we know your kids. So if having cardstock cubes that they fold together means nobody's going to get hurt, then I totally understand not buying the wooden cubes that could knock somebody out.
Another thing about the wooden cubes is if anybody in your district is or currently teaches project legal aid curriculum at the high school level, they used to have a wooden cube project as a part of that curriculum. And they took it out probably 4 or 5 years ago. And most teachers had bulk ordered these little wooden cubes because it was in there every year. So I got connected with a teacher and he gave me tens of thousands that he just had a probably could use them anymore because they took it out. And when you do private leeway, you have to do private leeway. And he just gave it to me. So there might be a high school teacher in your district that taught private leeway how teachers do it.
Or a school that taught it to the previous teacher who doesn't teach it anymore.
I mean, he literally had 4 or 5 boxes of cubes.
So for the CAB folks, that might be an Eric question,
Yeah.
because he may have where the high school teachers have done an inventory and see, do any of the high schools on their inventory, or can he put out a call to the high school teachers, you know, does anybody have the 1-inch wooden cubes that they don't use? And if you do, let me know, we'll pick them up at the district, you know, he'll go pick them up and then he can transfer them to you guys. I'm not a,
I got great radio for that, and it's ridiculous to call it.
yeah, they may have some too. So, but again, they're not outrageously expensive. So,
Yeah, I think after PDM, we'll open the homework or nothing to figure out what the supply list and what we're gonna buy and essentially the CAD teachers. One of the teachers should have everything.
yeah.
So we'll figure out, what we're
And-
gonna buy and then you guys.
And a lot of times, the way we, in the past, that we've addressed that is that, you know, our budget, we have an amount, but we can buy whatever is necessary for the class to be able to do, you know, for the teacher to be able to teach the content. The district, on the other hand, has funds to buy stuff, but they have restrictions. I can't buy consumables, but I can buy manipulatives. I can't buy this, or I can't buy that. And so what I like to encourage and have always tried to do is, let's have a conversation. Eric, the teachers need wooden cubes. And he's like, are they a consumable? No. Well, then I'll buy those. But the teachers need the basswood to cut, to have the laser cutter cut the parts they need for the catapults. And it's like, yeah, well, that basswood, however, is a consumable. I can't use my budget on consumables. So instead of us buying wooden cubes that he can use his money for, we'll buy the basswood that he can't use his money for. And that way you get what you need and everybody is within their bounds of their expenditures. And so that's, you know, that's how I like to work it so that you all get all the resources you need, right? Like, a lot of times when we were doing these catapults, they could spend the money on the catapult because it was a capital gain, a capital good. But they couldn't spend the money on the projectile because it's considered a consumable material, the 3D print plastic. So what we would do is be like, okay, for our project, you buy the catapults, we'll print and do all of the projectiles for you because, you know, we can give you that many projectiles out of the plastic so your teachers aren't having to buy more plastic material to do the projectiles. So we will work that out. All right, lunch is there, lunch is ready. I would say before it gets warm, but in this room it's not going to get warm. Let's go ahead and take a lunch break.
And the robots are here. We're gonna do a robot activity.
I haven't been to the since before COVID. And I can tell that I probably need to go, but I just know it's gonna cost me some bucks to go on my dental insurance, but
Actually, the drawing is one of my favorite.
it's a fun activity. It's just sometimes it can be a little
We don't do enough.
I use that example all the time.
I've heard that example before, but I've never actually seen it.
Well, my favorite one is I went to the store one time and I bought whatever it was and it came up to like $6 or $5 and whatever cents. And so I gave the person, I had a $10 bill. So I gave them the 10 and the exact change.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, the $10 bill covers it. I'm like, I know, but I don't want the change.
Unbelievable.
Right? Well, so I go to the store, you know.
Didn't happen to be a pro the other day.
But the other thing I've done is like, my bill would be like, $14, right? No, it was $16. And I gave them 21. And they were like,
$5 bill back.
they were like, but the 20 we gave you up.
If they don't punch it in the machine,
And I was like, no, that way you don't give me a whole bunch of ones. And they're like, yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I was her, I would think I'd rather just store it. Because she couldn't figure it out.
English speech.
You can take the keys out, and show a little bound on the side, of the keys if you want.
I'm not really a fan, but I'll take some minutes. You like white food? I would like that.
She wants the white sauce.
Yeah, I mean, that's, but that way they at least have the keys to kind of play with. But they can't use
We do a bomb, yeah, we do a bomb.